Hello, welcome to Wag's Cancer Journey. I'm Wags. This is my cancer journey. Well, today is the 14th of August. I hope everybody's doing good out there. Just going to jump in here, do a quick update. I guess I haven't been on since end of July. So a few things been going on, um, but I get everybody up to speed on where we're at. We're pretty close to the end of this trial that I'm on. Um, and I'll go over that in just a few minutes. But first, let's dip into just a little bit of gratitude because I feel that it's important that we find something to be grateful for every day. And I thought about it a lot over the last couple of days, and my mind just keeps going back to one one kind of special thing. And it's maybe not the hugest thing in the world, but to me, I guess it means a lot. So, with that, I'm grateful that some of my friends and family have maybe opened up a little bit to me about start sharing some things that are going on in their life. And um, instead of just, hey, how's it going? I know everyone, there's concern out there, and I'm lucky that there is. But they share moments and things that are going on in their life with me, and some of it is just to get it off their chest. Others um, really want me to know, so I'm grateful for that. So today I become an Attack fan. Uh, I got a friend that showed me some highlights of his son in travel league basketball, and is doing a marvelous job. A true leader, and shares some tidbits of where he played and how they're getting through. And it's nice to see someone in high school um, really striving to do good and putting forth the effort to become the very best they can be, which is a true reflection of the parenting this young man has had throughout his um, youth. And now it's starting to pay dividends. And with all the kids that are in trouble, the news is full of this shooting, that shooting. They all seem to be very young. Uh, it's nice to see someone striving to be the absolute best they can be. And um, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that people call me. My best friend calls me the other night and shared what's going on in his world. Could have just texted me and said, "Hey, how you holding up, bro?" But he didn't. He called me, wanted to hear me, wanted to know how I'm feeling, and that's really something to be grateful for. In the end, um, I'm really grateful for that. So, if I can give any advice to that young man that's hard charger out there, a true leader, playing b-ball, um, look obvious. It's so obvious to look at him that not just is he talented and born to lead, but he's really enjoying. what he's doing. He's put in the work, and now it's paying dividends. And all I can say, and I think he already knows this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You play your guts out for the front of the jersey, and your name will be on the back of the jersey for a long, long time. And I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if it's work. I don't care if it's sand volleyball on a Wednesday night. If you play for the front of the jersey, they'll keep your name on the back of the jersey for a long time. So if that's any advice I could give to anybody, that would be it. With that, uh, today I'm an Attack fan. Hope to get to see you play live and in person. I wanna see your schedule. Um, my vehicle travels. I can get to wherever. Maybe I can buy you some Culvers after the game or Buffalo Wild Wings. It mean a lot to me. With that, let's move on to what I've been doing, how I've been feeling, and what the future holds for this cancer journey. Well, uh, we got to go back to August 5th. Not a lot went on between the end of July and August 5th. I didn't have any appointments. Uh, chemo symptoms um, we'll get into, but August 5th, I went back to UW Madison and I seen Dr. Bruce, and they told me this would be my last bottle of pills because the end of August they quit making them. Now, whether or not they can get their hands on any more between now and then, it was up in the air as of the 5th. So, next week, I go back in for another infusion, and they're going to try to let me know at that time whether or not um, they have another 30-day supply, 15-day supply, 5-day supply, whatever they're able to get their hands on, they're going to try to keep me on as long as possible. Though I believe in the study, I believe the pill is doing what they said it was going to do, and that is inflame the chemotherapy to do what it's supposed to do and keep this tumor at bay. Um, I fear that when it's gone, chemo may not be enough. But on the other hand, I'm not so sure that the 1776 pill has more side effects than they let on. I believe that it's a far dirtier drug than they lead me to believe. And I'm wondering how my body's going to react when I'm off it. I wasn't off it long enough during my little July hiatus with the end of June, June, I guess, with the double vision that they feel was from a stroke. Uh, I'm not so sure that little hiatus was enough to for me to feel the difference. So I'm looking forward, in one hand, to see if there's going to be any difference. On the other hand, I do fear that it's going to speed up the process of this thing growing, and that maybe that this frosting on the cake, remember, that's really inflaming the chemotherapy is the difference between becoming really sick or not. So it's going to be a waiting game uh, to keep me up at night, damn straight. Uh, I try not to dwell on it because, again, some things are out of my control. This is all because the pharmaceutical company that makes this product does not feel they can make enough profit on it selling it for what it costs to produce. So even though it may help people, that's not enough. So when you hear hospitals, staff, administrators, politicians, especially, talk about finding a cure for cancer, it's complete and utter bullshit. They have no intention of ever curing this disease. There's too much money to be made in treating it. They won't even treat the disease if they can't make a profit. So don't buy in to all the crap. All we could hope for with this pill is that your grandkids, my grandkids, would have another avenue to fight this disease and keep it at bay while they live out the rest of their life. Um, they're not interested in curing this. And I'll argue with anybody that wants to stand and argue with me about uh, the nurses all care. They all see it. They're not blind to any of this. That being said, I'll get off my soapbox. Um, so I have an appointment there. The eye appointments, um, since I seen Dr. Chan in July, uh, because I'm getting off from this, I guess uh, there's no reason for them to keep continually checking my eyes, especially with Dr. Chan feeling that I'm having strokes. Um, there's no reason for them to. There's no reason for them to continue to measure my eyes if I'm having strokes in them. So moving forward, I guess so that catches you up to what I've been doing, how I've been feeling about it. That's how I feel about the pills. But I noticed the symptoms of chemotherapy, the the after effects are becoming, um, all of them are becoming a little worse. Okay, the pain in my neck is pretty continuous. Very seldom do I ever get busy enough that I don't feel it. It's there. Um, when it gets extreme, it's getting more extreme. The pain that shoots up, and again, this is all trying to keep it from going to my brain. They they don't come out and tell you that, but um, head and neck. It's head and neck cancer. The pain in the throat. All the research I do, and I've got nothing to do but be on this damn computer and look this stuff up and read studies from some of the top head and neck cancer specialists in the country, and some of them are on my team. That pain is part of the game. It's pain management, but throat cancer is a very painful way to go. If that's, it just is. So that's getting progressively worse. Um, it's causing more severe headaches when I get them. They're getting way more severe. Uh, Advil, um, ibuprofen of any kind, along with Tylenol, is trying to fight a firefighter with a squirt gun. It's not doing the job. So, excuse me, that chemo cough is there. And when I do these videos, you're seeing me at my absolute best for the day. And that's why they're done as early as they are in the morning. Because by the afternoon, I'm a complete piece of garbage. I not much of a there's not much I can do. Um, so my household chores are keeping my house clean, which I thoroughly enjoy, and um, getting supper prepared so I can make supper in the afternoon. Um, is all done in the morning, and along with these videos, while I'm able to do so. I'll be mow grass a little too early because the grass isn't completely dry when I mow, but I have the energy to do it. Because if I have to jump on the mower at 3:30 in the afternoon to start mowing grass, probably isn't going to get done. Yesterday was a perfect example. We got rain in the morning, sun came out in the afternoon, grass needed mowing, couldn't do it. So the nausea, I take an anti-nausea pill every morning. I think I'm up to 10 pills every morning I take between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. I take 10 different pills. Then in the afternoon, I usually take more nausea medicine. Sometimes before bed, I take more nausea medicine. And um, it's getting more constant. If I didn't have the morning nausea pill, I'm pretty sure every day I would feel it. But it's not just nausea. With the nausea, the headaches, come a little body ache, equilibrium is really bad. But so it mixes you up, gets you confused. Uh, my girlfriend Jerry, others have mentioned to me that they see by watching my videos and her talking with me every day, I have a harder time finding the right words, getting my words together to say what I want to say. And I notice it somewhat too. Um, it it's something that again I research this stuff. This is all normal. This is part of the game. Is the cure worse than the disease? I don't know. It's possible. So with that being said, the nausea, the headaches, the pain, the loss of neuropathy in my feet, the loss of feeling in my feet is starting to crawl up my shins. I'll be out in the sun, just sitting, and I'll watch flies land on my shins. Flies are bad this year, but I'll watch them land on my shins. I don't have much. I don't feel them at all. Uh, it's starting to crawl up. It seems like one foot's worse than the other, which really makes my walking kind of weird because, and it's my good foot. I got a bad foot. Anybody that knows me, but my good foot is probably the one that's worse. Maybe I haven't felt that other one in quite a long time. I don't know, but um, the neuropathy is a little worse. The ringing in my ears is deafening. Um, I I don't have great hearing, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I do because I don't. Um, pretty simple. This ear, left ear, face the stack while you're watching hay go in through the hay bind, the baler, the corn chopper, whatever, growing up. Deafening. Then bang, bang, military hearing protection sucked in my era. I think it still sucks. Everybody I know that served that was more on the infantry side where they shot a lot of weapons go through this. They, of course, the military says, "Oh no, 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 your hearing was fine." Sure it was, but my ringing in my ears is off the charts. It has to do with the equilibrium. Has to do with the headaches. It, again, all the research I read. This is part of chemotherapy. I think it was worse on cisplatin. I think it came on worse, but this is a constant. It's not a wow, the ringing. I can really feel the ringing in my ears today. This is a constant ringing of the ears, middle of the night, whatever. Um, all the research shows that absolutely normal. And it's probably going to get worse. All these symptoms are probably going to get worse with time. You're going to become more immobile. You're going to have less energy. I mean, my energy level sucks. They put me on a thyroid pill. I think I told you guys in June or July. They upped it because my thyroid wasn't there. And again, this is all due to the infusion that I'm on, the chemotherapy. But they also told me that the um, that should help with my energy. Well, my lab numbers don't look that bad. The thyroid's starting to come up, but it's not there yet. So chalking up my energy to that for now. But the thought of doing the things I can't say I can't. I shouldn't go up as many rungs of a ladder than I did because of my equilibrium, dizziness, um, nausea, the whole 9 yards. There's things that you just got to tone down. And it's minimal. Um, can still get through the day. But um, There, I just lost my thought. But I wanted to talk about um, some of that uh, some of that stuff that you're going to go through. Again, this is pretty much normal procedure. I'm not sure if the cure is worse than the disease. And the obvious answer is no, it's not, because I wouldn't be here had I not had the radiation and chemotherapy, the thoracic surgery to remove what they could of my chest. Um, there's no way I would be here. I mean, I know what they told me when I had when I the first time. Had that gone untreated, I wouldn't have lasted 6 months. It would have been too late. It would have been go home, have fun. Um, I know what they told me when it become metastatic and has traveled some. We're really not sure where. And I would be in the middle of what they told me my life expectancy would be. So I do believe that I'm doing well that way. And I remembered what I was gonna talk about if I didn't just lose it again. And that is I did. I lost it again. Well, that's all part of this journey, I guess. Um, Probably the most important thing, but I don't remember it. And that's chemo fog. Yep, it gets worse. But um, I still have more blessings than I do troubles. So I'm doing well that way. I was able to go to Sugar Maple and announce the races 2 weeks ago and camped up there, had a good time. Uh, was able to get through that. It was taxing, but I was able to do it. Went to the Dells Motor Speedway and caught a race. Took a lot out of me. Didn't do much that day, knowing I was going to be there that night, but made it through. So you can do things. Um, got grass to cut today. Uh, we just keep moving forward. And I think that's the important thing. I mean, one of the things the psychologist told me is take the things you got to dwell on. Spend 15 minutes, half hour, whatever you got to do. Dwell on them, put them away, and get going doing whatever you're going to do with your life. Um, so that's kind of what I'm doing. I've done that this morning. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you do both. But got a lot of stuff to look forward to. Um, Chemo next week. Uh, it does seem the second weekend of chemo, which would be this coming weekend, is usually the worst. Then I start feeling really good about Sunday, Monday. Then Wednesday, we start over again. We go in, we get infused. Um, I do have some, stuff they're going to have to get me up to date on whether or not I can continue on this program. They did talk about um, doing chemo, bigger bag of it, less often, keeping it the same as now, or even doing, I don't know if you guys have, and if you don't have this disease, you probably haven't. There's a shot out there, which is basically a 2 minutes that inserts into your belly or into your butt, and the needle's got to be in, but they can inject the chemotherapy in like 2 minutes. You're in and out. Still have to do your labs, and that's what I want to talk about. So remind me, okay? Job. So um, I'm not sure if I want to do that. I don't know if it's been around long enough. I Let's ride the horse in the direction the horse is going. This is working. The more my labs are done, and this is going to get back to my point that I keep forgetting about labs. The more my labs are done, the more often they're done, the more often they're able to see discrepancies. And that is why I'm not going in, which I do have an MRI scheduled for next month. It's why I'm not going in for MRIs and PET scans as often as I was. And this was something that was brought to Jerry and I's attention at our last visit. They're able to keep a real close eye on my labs and see that my kidney function hasn't changed, liver function hasn't changed, my white blood cell count, my red blood cell count, the two biggies. So they're not, they're the MRI they have scheduled is for my head and neck again and chest, where they know the cancer's at. And the reason for not doing a PET scan that goes from basically your pelvis on up is because the MRI is way more detailed, and it slices you from head down to wherever these sections are, the PET scan, and it shows you colors. Where the MRI really will show you the tumor, and the slices are much thinner. So they had a lot better idea just how big it is, whether it's growing, something to compare with last time versus a PET scan. PET scan is, do you or do you not have cancer? MRI is, do you have a 3 millimeter tumor or 3.5 millimeter tumor? Is this growing? Is this spreading? And a lot of the reason they're able to just zero in on those areas is because of the labs. And my lab numbers really look good. They're really consistent, which tells me that this thing hasn't taken off and going crazy. That definitely needs a warm up, which is a good thing. So, you know, my friends, family that are concerned, these are good things. The naysayers that want to see the end, you're gonna have to wait. You'll get your turn. But the the lab numbers are real consistent from the start of this rigmarole. I mean, I had one, my liver function was off the charts, and then it went right back down. And we don't know why. It just happened. But my white blood cell count, red blood cell count is right in the normal. So whatever's there is getting treated. It's not going crazy. I'm not saying it's not growing. I mean, I can feel it, but I'm saying that it excuse me, it's not getting out of control to the point where um, we need to start looking at the next step. Now, that being said, they do have an MRI for next month, just basically for their second opinion. What's what's this all about? You know, is it getting bigger? Is it getting smaller? Are you seeing positive effects from the 1776 pill? Are you not? You're going to have a benchmark then when I'm off this 1776 pill. In the future, what did the 1776 pill do for me? What's it not doing for me? And that's the part that I'm hoping can help our grandkids someday as they get older and they start having these health problems. So, this is a little rambling on a little bit too long. And part of that might be because I can't hold a thought very well. And you guys will perhaps see the decline more and more as these videos progress. But for now, I don't feel bad. I mean, again, for my friends and family, this is not getting me out of chores. Okay? You're going to finish supper. You're still going out to get the cows and get them into the barnyard, you and Jake, Doug, and get ready to milk cows. So when dad comes out, we're going. You're not getting out of it. There's hay in the field. You're bailing it. So we'll get through it. Um, you just keep fighting, and the one of the hardest parts I guess I have is just to realize that slowing down is part of this, and um, whether I want to or not, I'm slowing down. So with that being said, I'm in good spirits. Um, I've got a lot of support. I'm so grateful for that, and um, there's no shortage of love in my house, so I'll take it. But for Jim, Wag's cancer journey, You take care of each other. I'll see you next time. Go attack.